Welcome back, everyone, to Whatever You Need, the home of stories that never sleep, where fame, emotion, and a hint of mystery collide under the same spotlight. Before we dive into tonight's deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the join button to support the channel. It helps us keep the stories flowing and the lights burning bright. Now, let's get into the latest connection that's making the entire entertainment world raise an eyebrow: Gökberk Yıldırım and Cemre Arda. Two names. Both golden. Both unstoppable. On one side, Gökberk Yıldırım, the actor whose steady rise from charming newcomer to leading man has become one of the most watched journeys in Turkish television. On the other, Cemre Arda, a name that seems to hum with electricity every time it's mentioned. A woman whose schedule looks more like a conquest map than a calendar, filling with hit after hit, campaign after campaign. For weeks now, whispers have been gathering around them, whispers of digital trails, coincidental timings, and that thin, glittering line between curiosity and connection. The question hangs like perfume in the air: is there something quietly blooming between these two stars? But then came the familiar fracture that fame often brings, the unfollow moment. It's the modern world's quiet declaration of distance, a digital sigh. Suddenly, they were no longer mirroring each other online. Fans noticed. Screenshots flew. And yet, love, or habit, found a second wind. They were seen once more, hands entwined in Bodrum, framed by sunlight and speculation. The reunion didn't last. The silence that followed was heavy enough to suggest an ending. Gökberk went inward, Devrim went serene. And then, almost like a story waiting for its next chapter, a new name began to shimmer through the feed: Cemre Arda. Cemre's life moves in constant acceleration. A new script here, a global brand deal there, premieres, interviews, laughter that fills sound stages. Yet, in the middle of that speed, something unexpected slipped through, a connection that didn't belong to any press release. It started innocently enough, as it always does in this digital age. Cemre attended a glittering charity gala, the kind of night where diamonds reflect flashlights and everyone pretends the cameras aren't watching. She posted a carousel of pictures, radiant smiles, behind-the-scenes chaos, a crowd lost in rhythm. And then, within a single minute, Gökberk Yıldırım liked the post. Not 10 minutes later. Not an hour. 1 minute. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. But for a public that lives on timestamps and coincidences, that one tap of approval felt like the first ripple of something deeper. From there, patterns emerged. One like became two. Two became three. Suddenly, people were convinced that notifications were on, that a certain someone was watching, perhaps more closely than anyone else. Still, the evidence stacked up. A late-night story from Gökberk featuring a wistful Mabel Matiz's ballad. Cemre's poetic caption the next morning. Was it connected? Coincidence? It didn't matter. The internet doesn't wait for confirmation, it creates its own truth. Insiders began whispering that introductions were already in motion. Friends, mutual colleagues, maybe even shared brand partners, all gently arranging opportunities for them to cross paths, accidentally on purpose. There were no photographs yet, no official encounters, but the network around them was clearly stirring. Meanwhile, Cemre stayed disciplined as she always does. Her interviews remained focused on work, art, growth, never gossip. But that silence only deepened the fascination. When someone like Cemre doesn't deny, doesn't explain, doesn't even blink, the mystery multiplies. As one journalist put it, her silence is the loudest answer of all. And what of Devrim Özkan? The woman who once stood at Gökberk's side now moves with a new kind of grace, composed, quiet, almost unreachable. Observers swear her captions carry coded messages, the kind only heartbreak teaches you to write, reflections on peace, strength, and the art of letting go. She hasn't said a word, but in an age where every gesture becomes a paragraph, her restraint speaks volumes. Whether she's moved on or merely withdrawn from the noise, her name remains threaded into the story, a reminder of how public love can turn private pain. As days turned into weeks, the digital connection between Gökberk and Cemre didn't fade. The likes kept coming in waves, small, deliberate bursts. A midnight scroll, a story view that arrived too quickly to be accidental. The public watched, dissected, exaggerated. What is this, really? A budding affection carefully guarded under the surface, or a friendship the internet has dressed up as a saga? Each post became a puzzle, each song lyric a clue. And then, just when everyone thought the storm might settle, Cemre dropped her own spark. Sometimes love arrives when you least expect it. That was her caption. 10 simple words beneath a softly lit video, her face half in shadow, half in gold. The soundtrack, tender, nostalgic, unmistakably romantic. Within minutes, the post became a battlefield of interpretations. "She's confirming it," wrote one follower. "She's just teasing us," argued another. By nightfall, the clip was everywhere. News outlets dissected every phrase, fans synced the song's tempo with Gökberk's latest story. Even those who swore they didn't care found themselves scrolling through comment sections, curious. The energy between them had escaped the private world of speculation, it had become a living, breathing phenomenon. Now, whether this connection is destined to become official or fade into legend, one thing is certain: both names have captured the public imagination in a way few others can. Cemre Arda, poised, radiant, with the kind of self-possession that makes you believe in her every word. Gökberk Yıldırım, steady, charismatic, with that blend of vulnerability and determination that keeps his audience loyal. Together, even without confirmation, they've created a narrative that people want to believe in. Maybe that's the real story, not what's true, but what feels true. For now, there are no red carpet photos, no interviews, no smiles caught between takes. Just a collection of hints, songs, captions, timings, glances that may never be shared in public. But isn't that how modern connections begin? In the space between visibility and secrecy, between the heart and the algorithm. Whatever happens next, fans are ready. They've already crowned them the energy couple of 2025, a duo that represents focus, grace, and a quiet kind of fire. So, what do you think? Is this a digital romance slowly turning real, or a coincidence inflated by imagination? Do you believe Gökberk and Cemre's paths are truly crossing beyond the screen? Tell us your thoughts down in the comments. We read every single one. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the subtleties of celebrity chemistry, make sure to like this video, subscribe to whatever you need, and hit the join button to help us keep bringing you the stories that move, intrigue, and occasionally shock the industry. Because here at Whatever You Need, we don't just follow the stars, we follow the signs. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and never forget, sometimes the biggest stories start with a single like.